Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, you're welcome. If you're returning, welcome right back. It's a pleasure to have you guys here, and it's a pleasure to be here as usual. Okay, so I'm going to be going right into it because it's going to be a very long video, and this topic is a very important topic to be talked about. It's a very crucial topic. I know that in the last video I said the exact same thing, but I kid you not. I kid you not. This is a very important topic. The importance of this particular topic cannot be overemphasized, okay? And today's topic is pointers to knowing He is the one for you, is the one that God has predestined you to live the rest of your life with. That's one of the most important choices you get to make as a lady, not even as a man, as a lady. One of the most important choices because it will determine your future, to determine if you'll be able to fulfill destiny or not. So I'm going to be giving you pointers to knowing if he's the one. I have my points jotted so that I don't have to miss out on anything. Like we have to, you get, you don't have to make mistake. If you make mistake in this particular aspect, your life is over. Do you understand? If eventually, and we have lots of people out there who are living in regret today because of they were not able to discern enough. They were not able to actually see all the red flags before entering into whatever it is they are in at the moment, and they are seriously regretting it. So if you are still single out there, waiting upon the Lord for his spouse, this is for you, okay? And as you know, this is going to be based on the spiritual aspects of the whole thing. Physical aspect too is involved, but mainly the spiritual aspect, because it is what actually controls the whole thing happening around you and around us. Okay, so I'm going to start with this particular sentence that I've actually learned a few years back. I learned a few years back. Okay, you know what you want, but God knows what you need, not what you want. Okay, you know what you want. If they should ask you now, what are the things you want in a spouse? What are the things you want in a husband? What are the things you want in a man? You can say stuff like he has to be tall, he has to have 6 packs, he has to be dark and handsome, he has to be in the tech industry. Okay, they are not. It's not a bad thing actually, but God knows what you need, and if after He gives you what you need, it comes with the package of it comes with everything you want, that's an added advantage. It's a plus on your own part. I mean, just enjoy more, my dear. It's not about the 6 pack, it's not about what you want now, it's about what God in heaven, what He wants. So please stay tuned, and like I would always say, the highlight of this video, the most important points is at the end of this video. So please stay tuned, don't go anywhere, just stay there, okay? Look for a cold glass of juice. I think I should be. But anyways, let's get into it. So firstly, in the years leading to you finally meeting the right person, what happens is you come in contact with a whole lot of other people. A whole lot. I understand when people say that, okay, while you wait for the right person, just keep on praying and keep on praying. But praying, most of the time, as long as we are humans, okay, emotions are usually involved and all of that, and you come across people who will tell you they can even drink poison for your sake, they will die for you. Most of the time, even these people come in what we want. You that are saying you want someone that works in the tech company, that works in the tech industry. You can actually finally see somebody that works in the tech industry, but that doesn't mean that he or she is the one. He's the one actually. But all I'll actually tell you is this, okay? Any relationship you have or you've had leading to when you finally met the right person is going to be it's going to teach you a lesson. It's going to teach you a lesson. Any relationship you have leading to the time you meet the right person actually happened to teach you a lesson, okay, so that by the time that person actually comes, you'll be grateful for that gift, you'll be grateful for what you finally have. Do you understand? We've had to make mistakes of dating people based on what we think we want, and we realize in the end that it's ended up in as a disaster. It ended up in heartbreak and in pain and in tears and all of that. So that is enough to tell you that it's not about what you actually want, it's about what is very, very important, what you need. Okay, without further ado, we're going to be going straight into the pointers right now. Number one pointer is you'll be attracted to this person. You'll be attracted to this person, like, I'm not saying the physical aspects now. Okay, it's part of it. I mean, you're not wrong to want somebody that has six packs. You're not wrong at all. You have your reasons. You're not wrong to want somebody that works in the tech industry. You have your reasons. You're not wrong to want somebody who is tall, dark, and handsome. You have your reasons. Okay, but the most important thing to get attracted to is not his physique. Actually, it's his personality. Number one. Okay, you come close to the person and you see how he treats people. You see how consistent he is in his daily activities. You see how he respects, okay, how he lives, how he treats his family. You see how he takes the work of God seriously. Those are the things to actually look out for. Okay, in my own case, when I met my husband, he wasn't typically my kind of man. He wasn't typically my kind of person. But what happened was, along the line, when we got talking, when I started to see him for who he truly was, not who he is out on the outside, although he's so cute though, don't try to get it wrong, okay? He's so tall, dark, and handsome. He's huge, that kind of my spec. In fact, this God, it will give you a mix of everything. So don't sleep on it, okay? The real flex is in God. The real flex is in God. Frankly speaking, I won't lie to you. Do not sleep on it at all. So when I met him, I was used to a particular type of man. Okay, even my friends at the time, when they heard that I was seeing this particular person, they were like, "Listen, are you sure? Do you get?" Well, I got to get attracted to his personality now. Okay, I got to know him for who he was, and it's increased the level of attraction. Obviously, he looked presentable. I'm not saying you should go and marry someone that is unkept, or go and start looking at someone that is unkept physically. He has to be kept, I mean, to a particular degree, but that mustn't be the only reason why you are with him. His physical. There are so many people who have made such a mistake and ended up having series of regrets. Okay, so like I said, there is nothing wrong with you wanting somebody who is good looking. There is nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, and make sure it's somebody you're attracted to. So number two is you have the same values. I'm going to give you an example. In my case, when I was growing up, I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up in a home whereby from a very tender age we were, go to church services. We wake up in the morning to pray. We go before we go to bed. The family comes together to pray. You were only allowed to go for church functions where you as a child would have to do things with other children of God and all of that. That was the kind of family I grew up in. Okay, and so growing up in that kind of family, it helps to shape my way of thinking. It helps to shape the way I view life. Okay, it helps to shape a lot of things. Okay, and meeting my spouse, what happened was that I realized that he equally grew up in this same kind of environment. Okay, it would only make the work easier for you, trust me. Because imagine you getting married to somebody who grew up in a totally different environment. Okay, grew up in a home whereby they necessarily didn't have to go to church or study the word of God and stuff. And you marry this person tomorrow and you want to bring up your children in the way of the Lord, but your spouse, who's supposed to be the one, helping, especially your husband, who's supposed to be the one to lead you. Okay, you're going to church with the kids and he's at home sleeping or going out to hang out with friends. Okay, it really affects in the long run. So the best thing is to make sure that the both of you have the same values. Okay, you wake up in the morning, you are able to pray together, he's able to lead you in prayers together. In fact, I feel like it makes everything easier. Well, let me just lie to you on a very serious note. It makes everything a lot easy. You don't have to start pleading with anybody. Baby, please, honey, please, can we pray? Please, can we go to church? No, you don't do that. Okay, he's there because of the values you guys have, and not just in the spiritual aspect. Now, in other areas of your life, in other very important areas of your life, your values have to tally, have to be in sync. Do you understand? Number 3 is you'll be free to talk to this person. Okay, the months leading up to when I was able to finally see my go on a date with my husband was, firstly, I didn't even know him in church. I was this kind of person that would go to church and just, I'll just go after service, carry my bag, and I'm off. I didn't have time to start looking about or looking at anybody. I just didn't have that strength in me. But when he finally, all this time actually, he was actually seeing me, but he didn't have eventually was able to ask somebody to help him get my number and everything. But me myself, I didn't really pay attention. I didn't know him. I didn't want to know him and stuff. So at the period I was able to get my number to the period we were able to actually physically hang out or have a date. Physical date was like around 2 months. And I kid you not, okay, in these 2 months, what happened was that we were able to, as though we've known each other for the longest of times. Okay, in these 2 months we were able to talk about our dreams, life goals, aspirations, talk about our experiences with life, talk about everything, talk about virtually everything. Do you understand? We became so close. I can literally tell him anything. Do you get? So I'm not saying it ends there, because when the whole thing becomes official, the relationship and everything, you should be able to tell him your concerns. Something is bothering you and you don't know how to go about it. You tell him this thing you're noticing about him, and you make sure you communicate. You guys are able to talk. If you're not free, you are scared to talk to him, you are scared to open up to him, you're scared to, you don't want to do anything. So there is a red flag there. Don't try it, because if you cannot do it in courtship, I kid you not, okay, in the other side, which is in the marriage, you will not be able to, because there and then you realize that in fact you become extremely scared to do anything. You won't be able to tell him where his faults are. You won't be able to explain what he's doing that is kind of making you unhappy or sad, and all. You'll be so scared. So key point to note is, it doesn't matter what you have, the point you've written, the criteria you've written for who you actually want to be with or want to live the rest of your life with. If he's the one, I kid you not, he's going to have all the traits I'm going to be talking about here. He's going to have all these traits. Look out for it. I know that tell me no man is, but these traits are these pointers are very, very important. It has to have all of it. Okay, please make sure of that. Okay, and not just material things. You have to have a car, you have to have a house, you have to have a this, you have to have a that. No, these are very, very important pointers that would actually help you out. Okay. Number 4 is you'll feel vulnerable with him. You'll be able to be yourself around him. You'll be able to bring out your femininity, okay, around him, and allow him love you like he's meant to. Do you understand? You during the time I was courting, or not courting now, I only courted my husband. During the time I was in the dating section of my life, in the dating aspect, or in the dating part of my life, I was I noticed that I always had my guard up, because I meet it today, and some way somehow I just don't feel like the relationship would have a future. Okay, that's another advantage you have as a child of God. The spirit of God within you will just tell you. There will be this knowing, no matter how the person tries to pretend. No matter how, because trust me, they can pretend. They pretend a lot. Men, fear them. No matter how much the person tries to pretend, there is just this knowing inside of you that no, this is not the way forward at all. This is not what it is. I mean, it is not at all. Do you understand? So you would just know. But by the time you finally meet the person that is prepared for you, what happens is you become vulnerable. You all those walls of protection you've built around yourself, what happens is it begins to break down, because this person will love you the right way. And since you have that peace of mind with this person, you trust this person, obviously everything will just, every other thing will take care of itself. You'll be able to love you properly, and you'll be able to receive love properly. Do you understand? So it's also very important. 5th, which is one of the highlights of this video. Number 5 is it's going to draw you closer to God. This is one of the highlights of this video, and I can tell you firsthand that I experienced it with my other relationships, with the other relationships I was in. Okay, I always realized and I noticed that once I start a relationship that didn't glorify God, what happened was that it would cut me off from the presence of God. I'll just feel like I'm on my own. I've been detached from my source. Okay, God is my source. Okay, and I'll feel like I've been detached and I'm just in the world alone on my own. But eventually, most times, I'm the one usually end up cutting off such connections. Like, I just tell the person that please, I cannot continue, and that's because I know how important it is to be connected to my source. I know how important it is to be a child of God, to be able to walk in to walk in God's presence, where you are sure that you will not make any mistake. But if you are somewhere where you feel like you can't even pray, because that was how I usually felt. Okay, you just realize that you've lost all sense of you've lost all what's it called now, what's the word, that hunger to be in the presence of God, to pray. You no longer feel like you need to pray and stuff. You are gradually being disconnected from your source. Okay, so most of the times I end such relationships as soon as I can and go back to my source. So when I finally met my spouse, it was totally different. Okay, we could comfortably, conveniently talk about the things of God. He would send me links on messages I should listen to. I mean, it was just too beautiful to behold. I mean, it was too beautiful to behold. Do you understand? I was able to draw closer to God in that time. I was able to know more about Him in that time. Unlike the other times where people you meet would instead detach you from the things of God, simply because of their own selfish interest and what they stood to gain. Do you understand? So number 6, He will be able to lead you with love. will be able to lead you with love. Do you understand? He'll be able to firstly, for a man to be able to lead you as a lady, you should have been able to work on yourself. Okay. But men are, in fact, as a child of God, as a daughter of God, okay, as a Christian, men, I feel like men are most, will I use the word sexiest now, when they know their place, when they are grounded in God. They are the real flex. Let me not just lie for you. They are the real flex. When you see a man who walks in authority with the help of the Holy Spirit backing him up, in fact, it gives me butterfly in my stomach. You get so, and they know their place in God. They know that as a man in your life, they are there for a reason. They are there to lead you, to help you fulfill and to help you fulfill destiny. So they would be able to do so without forcing you into doing things that you're not supposed to do, but rather they'll be able to lead you with love towards whatever it is you want to achieve in life. That is one thing that is extremely important. Okay, in love, very very important. Then last but not the least for this particular video is you'd experience a deep connection, a deep and genuine connection with him. Do you understand? I'm going to give you a backstory on that. When I met my husband, and we were talking for some months, then we decided to see each other for the very first time. What happened was that I could tell already. I could just tell. Like I said earlier in the video, the Spirit of God in you gives you, bears witness with your own spirit, okay, about the things of God and about the things that are meant to be in your life. I would use the word, I can actually use the word soulmate. Once you've met that person, and that's the advantage we have in God. We as Christians, people who are not really grounded in the word of God might not really have that advantage. They'll just follow. Although I'm not saying they end up mostly in bad marriages and stuff, hell no. But I just feel like we have an extra added advantage, okay, because the Spirit of God is in us, and it would help us bear witness. It will help us tell us, and that's one of the reasons why you feel you don't have that peace when you're with somebody who you're not meant to be with. That peace is not there. God takes away the peace to make you know something is wrong, even if physically you don't see anything wrong. But by the time you've met the person that He has prepared, okay, to help you accomplish your life's purpose, what happened is your spirit would know. In my own case, I just felt this joy. You know how that kind of joy you feel when you just gave your life to Christ, that kind of joy, or you just had the baptism of the Holy Spirit, that kind of joy. That was exactly what I felt. It was it was glaring. I'm not saying the honeymoon stage of a relationship where whoever you're seeing will be calling you and be asking you what you've eaten 20 times in a day. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Like that inner feeling, the joy I had was overflowing. My spirit just knew that finally it has been reunited with the spirit it has been predestined to reunite with, and that was how I felt. And trust me, ever since, I've not regretted it. That choice, one day I've not. Okay, and this kind of if it's not if it's, because if it's the one for you, it's going to stay, get married to you. And these are the kind of marriages we see today, where 20 years after they are still so strong, although it requires work, a lot of work physically. Now, whether the connection is there or not, the both parties have to work towards having a perfect union. But if at all, okay, the work wouldn't be as much as you just picking a random person based on his looks and what he have to marry you will not be able to succeed afterwards. You have issues, a lot of issues. But if you are able to pick um, God's choice for your life, what happens is that you'll be able to have a very beautiful union without too much stress. Now, last but not the least is, while you wait, okay, you can't be idle while you're trying to wait. Make sure that um you are doing something with your life. Don't say, after all, I'm just waiting for whoever will come and sweep me off my feet. Okay, in my case, I was doing something. Okay, I was working, even in the house of God. Make sure you're doing something with your life, so that somebody that is not meant for you will not just come and sweep you off your feet with material things. Okay, you'll be able to think you'll be able to think clearly. Do you understand? So this is all we have for today. If you have any questions or contributions, please do so in the comment section. If you have any questions, okay, do so in the comment section, and I'll be there hearing whatever and responding to whatever questions you might have. Okay, plus please, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, do well to subscribe and put on the notification bell so you get notified every single time a new video is uploaded. Okay, until our next video.